Okay, so your bell ringer today is on page 81 of your Eagle workbook. This is module 4, number 45, 46, and 47. 45 says a store sells fencing by the foot and gates for a fixed price. The graph below shows the relationship between the number of feet of fencing, X, and the total cost, Y, based a purchase that Larry made. For the first bullet, it says, determine the equation of the line using slope-intercept form. So the equation of the line in slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so to find the m, the slope, I'm going to look at the graph. And I notice right here that it crosses the y-axis, and that's at 50. So I know that my b, or my y-intercept, will be 50. Go back to my line, and I'm going to go through the line and see where the line crosses exactly through the corner of a square. And it does so at this point right here. So now I'm going to count from the 50, and it's going by tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So it goes up 40. That should be represented by a positive 40. It goes to the right, and if you look, it's counting by fives. So it's going to go to the right. 5, right is positive, and then 5. So my slope is going to be positive 40 over positive 5. 40 divided by 5 is 8. So if I go back to my equation, y is equal to 8x. And you have your plus 50 already done. For the second bullet, it says, explain the meaning of the slope and the y-intercept in the context of the problem. Okay, so the slope means that the fence will cost $8 per foot. The y-intercept means that to purchase the fence, so to purchase any amount of fence, a fee of $50 is charged. That's the second bullet. The third bullet, it says if a customer spends $370, how much fencing did he buy? Show your work. Okay, so the cost of fencing, I notice, is located here on the y-axis. So I know the y is going to be equal to $370. And I know my equation is y equals 8x plus 50. So now, in the place of the y, I'm going to put 370 equals 8x plus 50. Now it's an equation, and I have to figure out what x is. First step is to get rid of your constant that's on the same side as your variable. It's a 50, so the opposite of positive 50 is negative 50. So I'm going to put that on both sides of my equal sign. 370 minus 50 is 320. On the right, I have 8x left over because positive 50 and negative 50 is my zero pair. So now I have to get rid of the coefficient of my variable, which is 8. I have to divide since 8 is being multiplied. So I divide by 8 on both sides of my equal sign. The 8's cancel. So I get x equals 40. So that means that the customer has to buy 40 feet of fencing to spend $370. And that was the third bullet. It also said to show your work, so here's my work over here. Number 46. John's teacher gave him the following system of equations and asked him to find the point of intersection. So the point of intersection is where the two lines actually cross or meet on the coordinate plane. It's an ordered pair. That's why all of your choices are the ordered pairs. So now I'm going to look at my equations. I see that the coefficient of x is 4 and 2, which does not make a zero pair. I see that the 7 and -6 is not a zero pair, and the 1 and 1 is not a zero pair. So I also see that y is equal to this and y is equal to this. So I know that the y is equal to a y. So I know that 4x plus 7 is also going to be equal to 2x plus a -6. So now I have to solve for the variable x. I'm going to start with the one on the right, 2x, and I'm going to bring it to the left side by taking the opposite of it. The opposite of 2x is -2x. And I'm going to write that on both sides of my equal sign. 4x minus 2x is 2x. Bring down your plus 7. 2x minus 2x is 0. So I get a -6 left over. Still solving for x, I need to get rid of the constant that's on the same side of the variable. The constant is a +7. The opposite of +7 is -7. So I'm going to put that on both sides of my equal sign. +7, -7 gives me a 0. So I'm left over with 2x. And a -6 plus a -7 is -13. Now I need to get rid of my coefficient, which is 2. It's being multiplied by x, so I need to divide by 2 on both sides. So I'm going to get x equals to -13 halves. Now if I make that into a mixed number from an improper fraction, I will get negative, and there's 6 groups of 2 in 13. That means I'll take 13 and subtract 12. So I'll end up with -6.5. So I need to pick the ordered pair that has -6.5 for my x value. And I see that both A and B have -6.5. So I know I'm not going to choose C or D. At this point, I go back to one of my original equations and I'm just going to choose the first one. 4x plus 7 equals y. I know that x is -6.5. So now I'm going to solve for the y. 4 times -6.5, well, I'm going to multiply right here. 4 times -6.5, that would give me 13 halves. So it's -13 halves. 4 is a whole number, so I'm putting it over 1. 4 and 2 are diagonal from each other, so I'm going to cross cancel because 4 and 2 are both divisible by a 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So 2 times -13 is -26. On the bottom, 1 times 1 is 1. -26 divided by 1 is -26. So it says -26 was our result right here. Sorry. And then I need to add 7 to it. Gosh, my lead is breaking. So y is equal to, if I add -26 plus 7, I get -19. So y is going to be equal to -19. That means my choice is A. Okay, so I'm going to move on to number 47. It says the total monthly cost, including an installation fee, is charged by 2 cable television companies are shown on the graph below. What are the coordinates of the point where the total cost of both companies are the same? When both companies are the same, that means they will be at the same point. So we want to find our ordered pair where they cross. If I look here, there's a 60. If I look here, there's a 2. The 60 is on the y-axis, so I know the y is going to be 60, and the x will be a 2. So I'm going to look for the ordered pair 260, which is C, and that's going to be my answer choice. That's all. Thanks for watching.